Hi, this is Cheryl McQueen, designer with Bello's Designs. Today I'll be showing you how to create a container for your supplies or whatever you might choose to do with it. I want to show you that you don't necessarily only use your stamps for making cards. I'll be making a container today to hold my art markers. To begin, find a container that you would like to use for your design. I have chosen to use an empty baby formula can. You will need to start by measuring the circumference of your can and the height. I found that I did not have a large enough piece of mixed media cardstock, so I had to piece mine together. The paper I'm using is a 98-pound smooth cardstock for mixed media. I've already cut and pieced my cardstock together. So you can see here where I had to piece it together. But that's okay because when it's sitting on my shelf, that little seam won't show. I decided that I would like to do an underwater scene. I'm going to use my two mermaid stamps, the Guinevere LAV 445 and the Elena. And Elena is the LAV 419. I'll also be using a few of the other underwater and sea type stamps. And as we go along, I will show those to you, but just be sure that if you check below this video, I'll have a list of all the supplies that I use and links to where you can find them. So let's get started. And the first thing that I think we're going to do is to create the look of the water. I did a card once that I liked the look of with the colors, so I'm going to kind of base it on the colors that I used in this particular card and a little bit of the design look and elements as well. So the colors that I'm going to use today for my inks are going to be Salty Ocean, Dusty Concord, Peacock Feathers, and Chipped Sapphire. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do, as we had done kind of on the card, I liked the look of the sun kind of coming through, reflecting through the top of the water. So when I start making it, I'm going to leave a little open space here. I don't want to actually use a mask because I don't want it to be crisp. I want it to look like it's blended in kind of a little bit of a watery look. So what I'm going to start out with is my Salty Ocean. And in the area where I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to have my mermaid right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and have my sunshine reflection right about here. So I'm just going to start by doing some gentle circles with the Salty Ocean. And just being sure to leave some white space there. And then I'm going to just do some blending all the way across the entire top part. Like I said, I'm wanting this to be an ocean, an underwater ocean scene. So I'm going to keep it consistent with the colors for the ocean background all the way across the entire piece. Alright, so now I've got my basic color down there for the very top. And as I said, leaving a little bit of a white space up there for the reflection of the sun. So the next color that I'm going to use is going to be the Peacock Feathers. And I'm just going to take that and just blend it just below and a little bit overlapping on where I have the salty ocean. While doing this, I'm not real concerned about it being even across the color. I don't need it to be solid in the same color. I like the look of a little bit of darks and lights in the same shades of the colors that I'm blending on there. That way it gives it a little bit more of a realistic look. All right, and then now we're going to move on to our chipped sapphire. Not sure what I did with the lid on this one. I'll set that aside so that we don't... Ah, there it is. All right, then we'll take our chipped sapphire and do that at the bottom. That kind of shows that we're getting deeper into the ocean. Not quite as much light is getting down there. Again, I don't worry too much about it being solid and even. I want the different shades of the darks and the lights to blend together. Okay. Now just to give a little bit of variation just in the color there, I'm going to put just a little bit of dashes of the Dusty Concord in there. Basically that's just to give it a little bit of variation in the color, not so it's not all just solid blue. Alright, and then I'm going to add just a touch more chipped sapphire just to smooth and blend just a little bit more. Alright, so now we've got our base down for our background. So the next thing that we're going to do, and I actually got a little bit, looks like purple up here, so I'm just going to blend a little bit of that out. We can always cover that up with something if we need to. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to spritz some water so we can kind of give a little bit of a look of underwater. So I'm going to take my distress sprayer, and basically I'm just going to spritz along, let those sit for just a second or two, and then take my paper towel and dab it. So this gives us a little bit kind of a look of the bubbles and under the water. If you don't want it to be the white showing quite as much, you can just take your brush, blend over just a little bit, and it makes them not quite so stark, just a little bit softer. Still gives that look. All right, so now we are ready to work on doing the rays for the sun. To create the rays for the sun, I am actually just going to take a piece of, actually took some cardstock and encased it in plastic so that I can get a nice crisp edge. So what I'm going to do is just lay that down. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Peacock Feathers to create the rays. And I'm just going to go to the edge of where the sun reflection is and just do a little bit of a rubbing against, going from the plastic out with my brush to help me create those rays. It just gives us a little look of the sun reflecting down through the different layers of the water. Let's do one more. So there you can kind of see that we have what looks like the sun coming down through the water. So now we are ready to go ahead and begin doing a little bit of our stamping. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take Guinevere and I'm going to put her somewhere down in here. And I'm going to get my stamping platform. I use the Tim Holtz stamping platform, and I have a sticky grid down so that I don't have to worry about using magnets. So I'm going to line her up where I would like for her to be. And I'm going to be using the VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink for stamping up, inking up my stamps. Apply some pressure so I can get a nice even impression. Okay, so now I think I would like for her to be, I think maybe we'll put the seahorse, like looking like he's talking to her. This is from the LAV 170 Sea Creatures. It's got the different ones that you can use. We'll probably end up using quite a few of those. So peel her off. All right. So now, let's see, how about we go ahead and put in some fish. We will have them just swimming about a little bit in the ocean here. Get them stamped up, inked up. And uh-oh, I've got one upside down. Oh well, he's having fun. All right. Did not realize I had him floating upside down. Why don't we go ahead and put one of his buddies that's floating right side up down here a little bit lower. Guess that teaches you to pay a little attention, huh? Didn't do that. That's okay. Since this is just for me, I'll get a good laugh out of it every time I look at it. All right, and then I think I want to go ahead and put just a few little bubbles coming up. And let's see, how about we will put the jellyfish back over here on this side. Alright, so now our scene is coming together quite well. And I think at this point I'll add just a little bit of kelp. Move this up just a little bit further. On my platform here. And then put just a little bit of paper down here so I don't get ink all over my platform. So I'll ink up my kelp. And made a little bit of a mess on my platform door. Can I clean that up a little bit? And we'll put that in. And I think I want just a little bit of second generation. So I'm not going to re-ink it. Alright, so you kind of get the idea of where I'm going from. So I'm now going to go ahead and finish up the design, but I'm going to speed it up. So there is the basic idea behind our design there. You can always go in now at this point in time and add some sparkle or whatever that you would like. I've got a Sakura Jelly Roll glitter pen here that I will go in and add just a little bit of glitter to my bubbles here. And then we could also go ahead and add a little bit to our sun's rays. Now, unfortunately, on the camera, it doesn't really show up real well. But in real life, you can see that little bit of glitter kind of showing up there. See if I can get an angle on it so that you can see. that the glitter just kind of glitter plan just gives it a little bit of a sparkle and a more of a underwater look. You can also come back in and fill some in with the mermaids on their scales. Get them looking like they're also glittery. So anyway, just use your imagination on your different designs that you'd like to use. There we go, give her just a little bit of a shimmer and glimmer effect. So once you finish your design, you can then put it on your can. So basically I have just lined it up with where I would like for it to go on. Make sure it's going to fit okay. It looks like it is. I'm actually going to go the other way since my fish right here, don't want him to be covered up. And then basically I am just going to take my adhesive running tape, put a little bit down the middle so it sticks to the can, and then I'm going to go to the very edge and then roll it up. And stick it down. And there we go. We've got a nice little canister there that I can put my markers in. So I'll just take markers and put them in there. And now I'll be able to easily find my markers, have them in a can, standing up, so that I can easily see the colors, and then I'll have this cute little tin on my shelf to look at and cheer me up. Thank you so much for watching my video tutorial today. I hope you have fun creating containers to decorate with your stamp creations. Remember to check out the delbellosdesigns.com website for more tutorials on the design team page. Have a great day.